Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yay, it does work! So apparently, assuming it just fixed itself, I've said in past videos that my up button on the D-pad of my PS5 controller stopped working. But now it's working again. So it's doing its thing. I'm so happy. Alright, let's see. Hey, isn't this? We seem to have emerged in the Oz district. Marcus's home is here, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, I had no idea the underground passage went all the way to from the port to here. The network of tunnels beneath the city really does seem to cover a vast area. It's like something out of a spy novel. I'll say. Maybe it's a sign. What's that? Yeah, that must be the chime to mark the noon hour. Yeah, the Heimdall Cathedral's bell. The cathedral itself is pretty far away, over in the Sank district, but you can hear it pretty clearly even here. I think it's about time we found something to eat. Well, we ordered to go from one of the local shops. And we don't really have much, but I'd be happy to at least treat you to coffee at our house. What? You mean? Marcus, you're inviting us to your home? Yeah. Elliot did. Eventually. They decided to grab some fish and chips to go from a nearby pub. With their meal in hand, they headed to Marcus's house to enjoy a lunch with a good cup of coffee. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, bum, 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 bee. So, this is the capital's famous fish and chips. I was expecting it to be delicious, but even still, I'm impressed. Fish and chip. You're eating hot dogs! Where's the fish and the chips? Unless it's in the middle there. It's supposed to be pretty known for their fish and chips. I'll admit it tastes good, but at the end of the day, it's still greasy comfort food. Better eat it while it's hot. It tastes disgusting if you let it cool off. Probably still better than wartime rations, though. What food isn't? This coffee seems pretty high class, though. It's got a nice, rich fragrance. Do you buy your own beans or grind them at home? Yeah. It looks like my father went out and stocked up not too long ago. I realize our voices are very similar, but we're just gonna go with it. Also, I have my deck of cards on my leg. Now and then, he gets the chance to take some time away from his duties and come relax back here. He sees his coffee as a small island of luxury. That does sound like something I could see Governor Regnant saying. He seems like quite a respectable man to me. You'd hardly imagine a home like this belonging to an important official like the Imperial Governor. It's tiny. You know, it wouldn't hurt to be a little less blunt. No worries. As I said, my father and I are commoners through and through. He might be a top official, but neither of us saw that as a reason to change our whole lifestyle. Besides, it's not as though we don't have some attachment to this house. Ah, right. Does seem like a comfy place to live in, though. Really relaxing and cozy.
There's a photo. Oh, that.
Aww, look at cute little Machias there.
He looks like he had such a sweet disposition.
Yeah, before he grew up to be a stubborn old nag.
Stop nitpicking people's old family photos! Honestly.
The governor looks the same as ever, though. Is that woman next to him your older sister or something?
Close enough. She was a cousin on my father's side of the family. Since she lived quite close, she often came to visit. Our family was just my father and I, so having her around was a big help.
The way you speak about her seems to imply you no longer see her. Did she get married and move away?
Well,
She died around 6 years ago.
Oh,
I see. And that has something to do with why you hate the nobility, right?
you picked up on that. So we're gonna talk about that, or come on, Marcus.
I never
play
really
it.
planned on telling anyone about this.
Come on, man. They're your friends.
But considering all we've been through, I suppose it's time I told you a little more about me.
Yeah.
It's a long story, but would you hear me out?
Of course.
absolutely.
Glad to.
Thanks. Sis was 9 years my senior.
Oh wow.
Beautiful, kind. To me, she was in every sense the ideal woman. Now, as I said earlier, we're a family of commoners through and through. But my father proved to be a very capable government official. And eventually, he was promoted to an important government position, where he started to make a name for himself.
Yep.
Honesty and integrity are a core part of his work ethic. So, of course, he made his fair share of enemies. But after seeing success in a number of major projects, he gained a reputation both inside and outside the government. My mother died when I was still young. But Sis happened to live around here and ended up helping us, and since she was his niece, my father always made a fuss over her. And even though she didn't live in the same house, she was like a real sister to me, a real daughter to my father. I was always so proud of her. As a child, she was practically my idol.
Seems like a real special lady.
And as you'd expect, she had countless admirers among the men of the city. But for all her popularity, she was always level-headed and sensible. So I never felt I had anything to worry about. Until he appeared. He was one of my father's subordinates at City Hall. Though unlike him, he was a noble by birth. A man of high rank, too. The heir of a count.
Wow.
However, he had none of the arrogance or haughtiness one usually associates with the nobility. When I met him myself, he came across as an honest and loyal man. He met Sis when Dad introduced him to her one day. And eventually, the two of them fell in love and began a relationship, despite the difference in their social status.
I mean, that sounds good, but
As a child, I was frustrated beyond words.
yeah.
But even I had to admit that the two of them made a good couple. And Sis seemed so happy when she was with him that I had no choice but to let it go and accept their relationship. Time went on and they became engaged, with Dad acting as the go-between. And that's when everything started to fall apart. His family couldn't have been more blatant in their attempts to undermine the relationship. Apparently, one of the four great houses, House Cayenne, proposed an arranged marriage on short notice, and the Count's family were up in arms at the thought he might choose to take a mere commoner as his wife. Since my father held an important post, they were limited in how shamelessly they could try to sabotage the marriage. But they began to harass and threaten her in secret every way they could think of. It made her life a living hell. Maybe she didn't want to cause trouble for the man she loved, or perhaps she did it out of consideration for my father. But all that time, she chose to endure it alone. She never discussed it or asked for help. And finally, it became so crushing that she took her own life.
Holy crap.
It was only afterward that my father and I learned what had really happened. It seems that at the very last, he had chosen to betray her love for him. But I told her, he said. I told her I'd treasure her as my mistress instead if she'd just accept that we couldn't be married. I just don't understand it. Why would she take her own life?
Oh.
After that, my father seemed to redouble his efforts. It was like watching a machine kick into high gear.
Wow. It's amazing, like, how much of this I don't remember.
With the help of his ally, Chancellor Osborne, he was able to wrest control of City Hall from the noble faction. Then, 4 years ago, he was appointed to his current position as governor of Heimdall. And that's how the Regnitz family came to be where it is.
So did you
I don't
kill
even know
him?
what to say.
So that's why you started hating nobles?
Yeah. I was so furious at Sis's death. My hatred needed to be directed at someone. Anyone. First I blamed her fiancé, then his family, then the family of the Duke who tried to intervene. In the end, I just hated the nobility as a whole. The people, their culture, the entire idea of social classes. I desperately wanted the strength to win against them. To show how right I was, how wrong they were. But deep down, I knew the truth about my hate. I knew I was taking out my anger on people who didn't deserve it. People who had done nothing wrong.
You did?
They may be from different social classes, but people are still individuals.
Word.
Sis's fiancé was faithful to her. He just wasn't strong enough to shield her from all that ugliness, despite his love. And the Count and his family were only acting in their best interests, which is to be expected, really. Ultimately, I've had to acknowledge that not all commoners are good people, and not all nobles are unworthy of respect.
Character development, people. This is how it's done.
Eustace might not have done much to change my opinion. But getting to know you two showed me that there are nobles who live up to that name.
Machias.
Alright, Rain's a noble. A low-ranking noble at that, but he doesn't consider himself a noble, I'm sure.
I have no idea how my father feels about all of this. But this is how I've come to feel.
I see. You have my thanks.
I'm glad you felt you could talk to us about it.
Yeah. Voice cutscenes are always my favorite, because I don't have to say anything. I don't have to read the lines. Plus, it's good to hear the voice actors do their work.
Still, I don't think it hurt to be a bit more honest with yourself. If you're willing to admit all of that, maybe you can find it in you to be friends with Eustace too.
Are you kidding me? I might accept that not all nobles are bad, but that arrogant, self-centered fool can go choke on a palm. He's mocking me for spending so much time studying, or telling me I need to get out more.
I don't think he goes quite that far. Besides, I don't think he does it on purpose. He doesn't mean any harm.
That's the most irritating part! He does it without thinking!
Well, that was a good coffee break, wouldn't you say?
Alright. I'm not pulling a pin on that grenade. Yay! Oh, lunchtime is over. Must be almost time for the summer festival decorations are going up. Huh? I would have thought the preparations for that would have started way before now. Is the summer festival not that big of a deal in the capital? It depends on who you ask, I guess. I've always just thought of it as one of the small yearly traditions. In my hometown, the summer festival is a major event with extensive preparations. Perhaps there's places where the ancient animistic traditions survive, put more effort into celebrating the festival. Animism does seem to have mostly vanished here. I suppose it's hard to think of it as a seasonal festival in the capital when it's celebrated a month late to begin with. I think most just see it as an opportunity to catch a glimpse of the imperial family. Is your Arcus ringing? What's it doing ringing out here? It's Class 7 Group A, Reen Sforger speaking. Hello there, Reen. This is Carl Regnitz. Governor Regnitz? Dad? Gonna think of it, he did say that we'd be able to use our Arcus communication functionality in the city, didn't he? Your Group's A representative, so I figured it'd be best to call you. Is now a good time? Yeah, now it's totally fine. We actually just left your home, Maki. He's invited us in for coffee. Did he now? I had a favorite specialty store roast those beans just the way I like them. It was a top-notch brew. With all that going on, it was nice to just sit down and have a good cup of coffee. I'm glad you were able to spend some quality time together. Anyway, getting to the point. I'm calling because we have a bit of a problem on our hands. That being the case, I'd like Group A to take care of one additional task for me. An extra task? We can do that, sure, but what exactly would you like us to do? There appears to have been a burglary at the jewelers in the Garnier district. But that's not all. The culprit seems to have left a message addressed to you specifically. Your confusion is understandable. The jeweler submitted a report of the burglary to City Hall a short while ago. Normally I'd leave this to the proper authorities, but would you be willing to go and see if there's anything you can do? Of course. Alright then, let's do it. What was that all about? You seem perplexed. I'll wait till you hear this. So a jewelry boutique was burglarized and the culprit left a message addressed to us? Weird. Appropriate. Thinking about it, this all sounds kind of familiar. Now that you mention, I'm getting strange strands of deja vu. Alright, let's do it. Ah! Oh. Excuse me, are you in charge of the store? We're here on behalf of the local government to investigate a reported burglary. Yes, that's right, I'm the owner. You must be the students from Thor's Military Academy. Indeed, Class 7 Group A at your service. Oh, thank goodness. We may yet have a chance to recover the Crimson Tiara. So that's the object that was stolen? Yes, exactly. It's imbued with priceless carnelian gemstones, captivating the hearts of all who gaze upon it. It's the centerpiece of our display, a consideration to become a national treasure, and vexed at almost 100 million mira. Pretty pricey. Yeah, I'll say. To think something that valuable could just be swiped. Just like that. The question is, how did the thief manage to steal it? I heard that the store was fitted with the best security system money could buy, so you could display the tiara safely. I'm afraid this is all due to my carelessness. There was no problem with our recently installed security system. Problem was me falling right into the Phantom Thief B's trap. Wait, the Phantom Thief B? I've heard all the manner of rumors of him, but I still find it hard to believe that this was actually his doing. The name sounds kind of familiar. Seems like Elliot Maki is known. Yeah, it's a thief with quite a reputation in the capital. He calls himself a liberator of beauty. Quotation marks. Oh, that's right. This part. And he made quite a name for himself with a string of major thefts a number of years ago. He's even getting an enthusiastic fan following for the daring and graceful methods he uses during his thefts. I now remember where I heard his name before. He's the thief who managed to steal an orbital tank from the army, right? Yeah, that's one of his most famous exploits. That's pretty impressive. I wonder how one steals a tank. So known for sending the victim a card notifying them of his intended crime before he commits it. Did he send a card this time? Yes, that's right. The card also contained this message. prize tiara has already been replaced with an imitation. However, the message was a feint. When we did have the most of faith in our security system, we knew that if anyone could get past it, it would be him. Set up the display case to take the tiara, but as it turns out, that's what he was counting on us to do. Unbelievable. As soon as he opened the display case, the lights went out. By the time they got back on, the tiara had vanished. I see. Sounds like he's an ordinary thief. With a piece as valuable as this, can you maybe explain how you decided we'd be the optimal choice for this request? Of course, please take a look at this. To order this fired establishment. Now that I have the Crimson Tiara securely in my possession, should you fulfill my conditions, I promise that it shall be returned to you unharmed. If not, I make no guarantees. Should we not to report this to the RMP? Just deliver the other card here to the members of Thor's Military Academy's Class 7 Group A. Third, the aforementioned Group A must overcome the trial written on said card. Phantom Thief B. I find the thief's apparent revealing and his crime somewhat unpleasant. Yeah, though on the other hand, he seems to be giving us a chance to get the tiara back. True. Do you have the other card that the thief mentioned? Here, please, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Salutations, ladies and gentlemen of Thor's Military Academy's Class 7 Group A. Should you wish to recover the treasure you seek, accept and overcome the trials I have placed before you. All the keys lie within the Vermilion capital. The first key is at the feet of the conqueror with the heart of a lion. A riddle, is it? I'm sure the Vermilion capital is just referring to the city itself. As for the feet of a conqueror with the heart of a lion, seems like a treasure hunt, and the card's our first clue. So you think you know us out? We'd be happy to. I'm all for wiping that smug satisfaction off his face. Okay. Real quick. I know where to go, but I'm gonna do something.
This park is so peaceful, it's easy to forget we're in the capital.
I could take a nap here.
Yeah, people love to come here to relax.
Ooh, this looks like a good spot.
Let's do it. Ooh. Tap 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 tap. Tap 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 tap.
That's a catch.
Woo! Ah, dude, let's go again. Tap 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 tap. Tap 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 tap. Got it.
What even is this?
It's a crayfish, obviously. Oh, that was a nice crack. Tap 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 tap. Got it, jeez.
Now that's a catch.
Okay. The conqueror with the heart of a lion. It couldn't mean anything other than the statue of Emperor Dracos. Agreed, it's hard to hear a clue like that and not immediately think of Trickles the Lionheart. And this statue is the most famous monument of him here in Heimdall. The chances are good that we're in the right place. Cards had to look at his feet. Oh. I assume we were correct then? Well, we won't know until we check. The second key is in the northeastern seat of the Prismatic Palace. As you can see, so basically, we've got another scavenger hunt. So it seems. I can't believe he's making us go through this whole rigmarole. In the northeastern seat of the Prismatic Palace. Just what could it mean? Can you figure out where the Prismatic Palace is? Where do you think it is? That's right. It's the port. No, I'm just kidding. It's Mater Park. Prismatic Palace. Wait a minute. Oh. Oh boy, the Imperial Guardsmen are at it again. All nobles. Yeah, the northeastern seat.
There's so many butterflies.
It really gives the place an exotic touch, huh?
Grandpa, are you okay? That's why I said you should take it easy. You're gonna sprain some muscle you haven't used in 30 years. Hey, look at that. This must be the Prismatic Palace. Yeah, the signs point to the Crystal Garden. At least the northeastern seat, I'm presuming it refers to the actual place one can sit. Must have to investigate the bench. Oh, is that it? Seems so. What's it say? Let's see. The third key is at the round table where once rested the gauntlets that supported the east of the city. Oh goody, another riddle. Still, what can we do but keep going? Ah, it seems fate has ordained that we should meet again. Oh, it's you. Who are you again? It's Baron LeBlanc. I first met during our field study in Berea-Hard, I believe. Très bien. I am most pleased to see that you have not forgotten me. Though if my eyes do not deceive me, you have two new faces among the throng today. Oh, it's nice to meet you. I've heard mention of you from my classmates. Has your search for beauty brought you all the way to Heimdall too? You could indeed say that. However, to me it's not just in Berea-Hard, but among the picturesque elegance of the Vermilion capital as well. Truly, it seems that we are bound together by a destiny most inseparable. Would you not agree? I'm not sure. It's a bit on the unique side, huh? Yeah, unique. Let's call it that. Please, the intensity of your stares is positively withering. Well, as this my overwhelming beauty has clutched your heart so tight that you cannot help but gaze and wonder. I bet all the mirror I have on me that's absolutely not the case. Excuse me, as much intended to do. I wish you the best of luck with your studies. And there he goes. So what did he come to convey to us? I wonder if we can figure it out. Okay, Alter Street, I believe. So Bracer Guild is the equivalent of just an adventurers guild. And like, whatever. The gauntlets that supported the east of the city. The gauntlet is the symbol of the Bracer Guild, isn't it? It's on their emblem, too. Yeah, the once and east parts mentioned on the note seem to be important as well. And while the capital once had two such branches, it's the easternmost branch. It's near the round table. I can't believe he even trespassed in our lodgings. Indeed, though from the look of things, it doesn't seem as if he touched anything else. Still, not a pleasant thought. Especially considering we don't know what he's actually after. On the bottom of the white burden of the steel bird perched at the water's edge. Sure enough, it's another riddle. If I remember right, that one is the port. A weird place, right? The steel bird perched at the water's edge. The last clue seems like it might be referring to the crane here in Heimdall Port, and now that makes this the white bird in these containers. I can't see a card attached to any of them, though. The clue did say it would be on the bottom. Perhaps we should discuss this with whomever's in charge and ask him to check the containers for us. That'd be poor Chief Dumberto. We met him earlier today, so let's see if he's willing to help us. Uh-huh. Oh, the devil did get that stuck at the bottom there like that. You wouldn't have been able to attach it without lifting the container. And that would have meant using the crane. But when did he do it? None of us ever noticed anything suspicious. Oh, he is supposed to be a master disguise, right? Maybe he disguised himself as one of the workers here. I can only guess as to how he might have done it, but it's definitely not something a normal person could pull off. Aside, what does the card say? Let's see. It's also headed to the water's edge. The crimson crown you seek sleeps within a black ark, nestled in the steel car that marches with the minutes. That one's just as obtuse as the others. It's also hidden near the water's edge. From all locations, I'd say the next one is Heimdall Park 2. Yep. I know exactly where it is. The steel car. Nope. What about marching with the minutes? Tram schedule, of course. Yep. In a weird way, I guess. Place them. Sure, what do you need? The infamous Phantom Thief B hid something in here on this tram car? I like that you actually get to look. Alright. I know this is a bit short in compared to some of the other episodes, but I'm going to end this here. And we'll pick this up next time on Trails. Adios.